Good morning, Mayap A. Arbak. Here's the plan. It is build day 395 on this house. It was our plan, our hope, our target to move in tomorrow, because tomorrow our remaining two children are arriving from the UK. Well, not children anymore, but you know what I mean. We are close to achieving that target, but there are some things that may still stop us, and to be honest, right now I'm still not sure if we're moving in. I'll give you a walk around and show you the little barriers that we have that might prevent us hitting that target. They could go wrong. What else could possibly go wrong? Before we go inside, I just wanted to say a big thank you to one of our subscribers. Joe Fugate came to visit us about 2-3 weeks ago. Came with his wife Grace and Grace's brother and his wife. And we had an extremely pleasant afternoon, chewing the fat, talking about all things building and beyond. Joe and Grace are planning to start their own build, something totally different to this, in about another 12 months. But a big thank you to them, because A, it was a great afternoon for us, really enjoyed it. B, they came absolutely laden with gifts, from a buko pie to various products using huckleberries. Joe is located in Idaho, and apparently the huckleberry is the fruit of the state. Similar-ish, I believe, to blueberry, but they bought us a jam and a hot chocolate and a syrup with huckleberries, and that wasn't all. They also bought us a proper dartboard and proper arrows. Now, for anybody else visiting us, you do not need to bring anything. It's just really pleasant for us to meet you guys. But my word, Joe and Grace, thank you so much. It was a terrific afternoon, and thank you so much for the gifts. I know you're back in the US now, and it's a bit colder. Hopefully everything's fine. Here is the front door, which is now painted, and it's dark and broody and imposing, and that's what I wanted. But this is the first issue that we have. You may notice that so far there's no door handle, there's no lock, and right now we have no locks on any of the outside doors. Without that, I don't think we can move in. Builder's working on it, should be coming very soon, we think. Whether it is by tomorrow sometime remains to be seen, but that's issue number one. In the living room, this room is done, with one or two very minor things that won't stop us moving in. One bit of good news we had was this floor standing air conditioner. If you've been watching from the very beginning, you will know that we didn't want floor standing air conditioners, but because of this space where we have the big gap to our left, and then that heads up upstairs, the consensus was that the wall-mounted unit we had just wasn't powerful enough. So this one we had previously bought some time ago, but it wasn't working. It took months, but finally the guys at eSummerTech, who have done all of our air conditioning here, managed to get the part that was needed. It was not cheap, but it was certainly a massive saving on having to buy a new one. So this is, in theory, functional. I'll come back to aircon in a little bit because there are other issues. The dining room, also done, with the exception, again, of some very minor touch-ups. I'll just show you up here, you might be able to make out, there's a little tiny bit of wire protruding from the ceiling. That one, and there's another one in here, are for ceiling speakers, which I don't have because I can't get them at a price that I can afford. Not right now. We have asked the builder to put some kind of plastic covers over these. I don't know if we're going to do that. It's obviously not going to stop us moving in. It's slightly untidy, but never mind, we'll live with it. Heading into the kitchen, you can see still a little bit of work going on with painting downstairs, mostly on doors and door frames. In the main kitchen, still a little bit of touch-up work. The breakfast bar still needs some attention. It's not quite there yet. We have both ovens in. We've got everything in, really. We haven't bought in more of the furniture that's going to go in the pantry. That will be coming over in a day or two. In fact, today we are due to get delivery of the fridge, which is right where I'm standing now. That's due to come today. There is still a little tiny bit of work to be done on the kitchen cabinets, but it's not something that's going to stop us coming in here. Here's our next issue. Again, this is not an issue that's going to stop us moving in, but we still do not have the internet covers for all of the locations where internet emerges. There was an order for these apparently put in by the builder, and that order just got lost. So there's a new order in. We don't know when this is coming, but there is no internet supply right now, and that we think can only be done after the power supply is finalised. I'll come back to power because that is another big issue for us. The pantry at the back of the kitchen, all done. In this space, we've got a wine fridge that's going to be put in here sometime in the next day or two. And down here, there'll be a chest freezer, which ditto, next day or two, that'll come in. In the laundry room, all done. Couple of tiny bits of touch-up still needed. And in a lot of places, there's still some cleaning to be done, but that's minor. We do have on the way a dishwasher and, a clothes washing machine and a tumble dryer. We can't use them for a while. That's back to our electricity problem. Again, I'll come back to that in a bit. The dirty kitchen is mostly, again, finished. It looks like Mr. Ronell, our plumber's just doing a couple of tweaks. There is something that is missing, and that is this cooker, which has now been put in, needs to be elevated. So we need them to put a base in here. I'm not sure why that got missed. We can live without it to start with, but it does need to be brought up closer to the height of the countertops around it. And over here, we have our kitchen island. This came with us from Hong Kong. It's not going to be located just there. It'll be more towards the middle of the room. So that we've temporarily put in this space. And over here, where there is this wine rack at the moment, that'll be moved. And a refrigerator will go in. In the gym and spa, again, just little bits of touch-up going on here and there. We did move this vanity into the spa area last night. We brought quite a lot of stuff with us over from the other house we have. So this will end up being here or somewhere close to here. On this side, where the mattresses are, you can see in the middle of that wall there's a column. We need them to put some kind of brackets across from that column because the intention is to put large mirrors here in the gym part, as you would very often have in a gym, so that whoever's on a treadmill or whatever they're doing can stare lovingly at themselves. Trust me, it won't be me. The home theatre room. We've said frequently, this room is not going to be finished. Doesn't matter. Close the door, forget about it, until such time as we've got money, if ever, to buy all the equipment, which will allow us then to properly finish all of the walls. Before we know the speaker dimensions, it's hard to actually do that. So this room will not get used for quite a long time. Heading upstairs, still a little bit of finishing is being done on the stairs, but they're close. The glass was being delayed prior to the arrival of the beds that we've got on order, but we have told the glass guys go ahead anyway. The beds are basically deconstructed when they come, and it should be no problem to take those upstairs, even with the glass banisters put in place. So the latest I've heard is that tomorrow that glass will be fitted. In the master bedroom, the bed is here. But what you may quickly determine is that the wooden base is not in that bed. We can't find it so far. It's possible it's still tucked away somewhere, or it's equally possible that the ship has lost it. So we'll be looking again today to see if we can find that base, and then hopefully this room is almost ready to go. Over here, my desk is now in. There won't be a lot more furniture in this room. And if we wander through into the walk-in closet, all of the cabinets are finished. What's not quite finished are the doors, but only a little bit more to be done in there. Into the bathroom, the shower glass is in. I'm not a massive fan of the fact that the door into the shower is just here, because it means you come in here and then you've got to kind of close the door right that we just came through before you can access the shower, but no big deal. Most of this was done already. I think maybe previously one of the wash basins wasn't in. It's all in now. So this room, effectively done. Into Alex's room. A little bit dark, but never mind. Everything done, except again for the Ethernet covers. Through into his walk-in closet, all done. Into his bathroom, shower glass in, all done. Into Aldrin's room, where this wall was redone, repainted, refinished. A slightly textured finish on this feature wall, and the grey paint's been added. Everything else in here finished. The walk-in closet still has a little bit of work to be done on the doors for the cabinets here, and that's only because George made a slight change, requested something very slightly different on those doors, but almost usable. Into his bathroom, as is the case with all of them now, done. Heading along the upstairs hallway, they've put back this scaffolding, this platform. There's still a little bit more touch-up that they're going to be doing again in this area. Not a huge amount to be done, but there is a little. So that's going to be, I would assume, finished by tomorrow. Heading further down, we'll take a right into Sabrina's room next. And everything in here, including the cabinets, all done. But what you may have spotted on our little journey so far is all of the windows and balcony doors. Something's missing. We have no curtains or blinds. Why do we have that situation? Well, I forgot. Just left it too late. So we are still in the process of negotiating with suppliers. We contacted 6 or 7. I think we're down to the last 2. I'm hoping to get the last quote today, and then we can decide, place an order, and we are told for blinds it will be a week. Now, because we're so close to Christmas, who knows? For curtains, and there'll be no curtains upstairs, it's now all blinds upstairs, but for curtains downstairs in the living room and the dining room, that's longer. That could be a 2-week lead time. But given the fact that we don't have blinds and curtains, I'm not sure everyone's going to want to move in and try and sleep when the light is going to start streaming in here at 6 in the morning. I don't mind, I'm awake anyway, but for everybody else, we'll have to wait and see. And our second issue, Sabrina's bed here. Well, as you can see, Sabrina's bed not here. The 4 beds, the new beds that we've ordered, 2 were supposed to come yesterday and 2 today. Nothing arrived yesterday. We are now told it's 2 today and 2 tomorrow, which would be fine if that happens because the kids don't arrive until very late. But if they are delayed again, well, unless somebody wants to sleep on the floor, can't move in. And swinging around, Sabrina's bathroom, like all the others, all done. And finally, indoors, Jack's room. As with all the others, everything finished, with the exception of those Ethernet connections. Everything in his small walk-in closet is finished. Let's see if the bathroom's open. Yes, it is. Everything in here, finished. A little bit of cleaning to do, but it's all done. Well, that was everything inside. It's not easy to make out, but the other thing that's been going on for the last few days is the painting on the outside of the house. So it's probably very difficult to make out, but where this was once all white paint, it's now cream. There's a long way to go, and that's not going to stop us moving in. Working outside the house is not an issue at all, and in fact, even if we do move in, a little bit of work inside also not a problem. There is another problem though. We have been having a long running, let's say, debate with the electricity supplier here, a company called Pelco One, who quoted us initially 400,000 pesos for a 100 kVA transformer and everything else that goes with it. They kind of maybe missed the point a little bit, because when they looked at the loading that was supplied to them, they for some reason decided that we would be running 13 air conditioners all at the same time, all the time. So having clarified that, we managed to get them to come down to a 75 kVA transformer. They've also then themselves just changed supplier for those transformers, and the price has come down a bit. But nevertheless, the final price, which I've just agreed this morning, is still 260,000 pesos for everything, including the poles that need to go from the bottom corner of the property, just around the corner there, across to our pole over here. All of that, everything that comes together, 262,000 pesos, which was something I had never considered. Just a fair warning to everybody, if you're putting anything in of any sort of scale, just allow for the fact that these prices for putting power into your property are, well, certainly way more than I ever anticipated. So that in itself is something we might be able to live with. We don't have that permanent power. We're told it's likely to be at least 2 weeks before that's connected. We might be able to live with that, but it would mean that we really couldn't run the air conditioners in the house until we get that permanent power connection. There was some testing done yesterday, and we initially thought there was enough power to maybe run 4 of the air cons simultaneously, but there's not. We now think, after the testing yesterday, we can probably only run 1 or 2 at any moment in time. Now, we have ceiling fans in virtually every room. It is not going to be as comfortable as having aircon, but it's something we have to bear in mind before we make that final decision, kind of tomorrow, about whether we actually move in. So those are the barriers that we have. Are we going to do it? I honestly still don't know. I think if the beds come, and if we can find some eye masks to try and allow us to sleep, I think we'll probably give it a try, providing we have the locks on all of the exterior doors. If we don't have beds, if we don't have locks, I think it's very difficult to see us moving in. It shouldn't be much longer, Both the beds and the locks are due to come very, very soon. So, touch wood, check back in with us in a day or two. Maybe tomorrow we'll do another update to see what are we going to do. Are we moving in or not? The kids arrive very, very late tomorrow night, so there's all day today for these guys to do what they've got to do. There's all day tomorrow, really, although, of course, we would like to be doing a bit more cleaning before we actually move in. But we can do some of that cleaning tonight when the crew are finished, and again, potentially a little bit tomorrow. So that won't stop us. It's really all about door locks and security issues. You know, we can't at the moment put all the security cameras up because they're not going to be connected to anything. We don't have internet, and the internet providers currently still saying they won't connect until we've got the permanent power in place. So we can't do that. If the beds don't come, well, then we're not sleeping on the floor. Watch this space. Maybe see you tomorrow.